Good morning, friends. It's Wednesday, November 10th. I hope that you are well. I wanted to remind you that the church office will be closed tomorrow, November 11th, for Veterans Day. So please not only remember that we're not open here in the office, but also remember to say thank you to those veterans who have served our country and our world in that capacity on that holiday. And I wanted also to let you know that this Sunday, the 14th, we will be bringing our Operation Christmas Child boxes to both services and dedicating them. And we will also have the privilege of welcoming new members of our church family at both services. So that'll be an exciting morning to be in worship. And I hope that you will join us in person or online. I was thinking this week, my prayer list continues to grow and grow and grow. And I was reading from the book of Ephesians, where Paul writes to the church there. And he says this in chapter 3, verse 14. It's his prayer for the believers, the church at Ephesus. He says, "For this reason I kneel before the Father, from whom his whole family in heaven and on earth derives its name. I pray that out of his glorious riches he may strengthen you with power through his Spirit in your inner being, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And I pray that you, being rooted and established in love, may have power together with all the saints to grasp how wide and long and high and deep is the love of Christ, and to know this love that surpasses knowledge, that you may be filled to the measure of all the fullness of God." I think that's a wonderful prayer that Paul is offering, and it's it helps me because when I pray for you all, and all the circumstances and situations are just a little bit different and personal for everyone, whether it be a physical disease or illness, a concern about cancer or something else that's going on, whether it be about mental health struggles or addiction matters, or maybe even broken relationships in families or within marriages. I always wonder, how ought I to pray for these people I love and care for? And I think Paul gives me and all of us direction as to what is most important in life and what we can pray for one another about. And so let me remind you that God may strengthen you, those who I'm praying for, with power through his Spirit in your inner being. It's interesting, he's not praying for an outcome in their circumstance or situation, a particular one at least, but he's praying that no matter what outcome or what the result of the test or how the relationship is going or how the day might be, that you would know the strength of God in your inner being through his Spirit, that you would have that power of God in you. And then he goes on to say what that would mean, so that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith. And so that is my prayer for you and for all of us, that regardless of our particular situation or circumstance, that we might have Christ dwelling in our hearts through faith. And that presence of Christ in our inner being would root us and ground us and establish us in love. Because when we know the love of God, when we know just how long and how wide and how high and how deep is the love of Christ, then we are full of courage and strength to face whatever our circumstance or situation might be. So as I pray, know that I use this text to pray for you and others, that you might have that dwelling of Christ in your inner being, in your heart. And I think what that means is if Christ is within us, then the peace of Christ, what he says in the Gospel of John, peace I give to you. My peace I give to you. I do not give to you as the world gives. That might be the greatest gift we can have in the moment, is that peace of Christ. To know that God is sovereign, that we are loved, and that there is nothing, no disease, no illness, not even death itself, that can separate us from the love of God that we know in Christ Jesus. Paul finishes this little section at the end of chapter 3 with these words. He says, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us, to him be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, forever and ever." So the God who is at work within us can do more than we could ever imagine. And his power is at work within us. Why? Not just so that we have that peace, but so that peace would reflect his glory to us and through us to the world. So please know that you are being prayed for, that the prayer is that you would know the presence of God in your heart, that Christ would dwell there, and that you might have that peace of knowing that God's love is greater than anything you are facing today, anything that's challenging you. God's love is bigger than that. He is stronger. And in Christ, we can have peace no matter what the circumstance is around us. If we can do anything, if you'd like to be prayed with or for, please give me an email, a text, or a call. We have folks who would love to minister to you, who walk with you and beside you to share life together. And I hope that we'll get to see you soon. So if you are being careful and safe and watching online, we'll look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and I'll wave. But if you're able to come and feeling comfortable and strong to be in person, then that is good also. This past Sunday, we had our largest in-person crowd between the two services. It still wasn't real packed or anything. There were plenty of space, but it was just a little more alive, not only for all of us, but I think for those of us who come in person rather than being online when possible. So we'll look forward to seeing you either way. If I can do anything, reach out. We love you. We miss you. Take care. God bless. Have a great day.